So I started my career as a trainer and then of communicative English, and then a role I truly cherish even today. And it was a really, just after my graduation, getting into that, it was a really exciting thing. And but at the core of everything, I mean, always something was nudging me. There was a hunger in me to create a meaningful impact and find personal fulfillment.
Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast by Directors Institute World Council of Directors, where we explore the journeys of industry experts shaping the future of business. I'm Priya George, and today we have the privilege of speaking with Mr. Dipankar Sarkar, a dynamic professional whose career spans investment banking, IT, corporate learning, and education development. With a deep expertise in training needs analysis, competency mapping, and instructional design, Mr. Sarkar has not only built impactful learning solutions, but also guided organizations in bridging critical skill gaps. From managing financial strategies to leading high-impact corporate training programs, his journey is a testament to adaptability, innovation, and leadership in a rapidly evolving business world. Mr. Sarkar, it's a pleasure to have you on FaceTime with Leaders. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya, for providing this opportunity. And also thanks to Directors Institute for having me on the FaceTime with Leaders. Really much appreciated.
Absolutely. So we look forward to a very insightful and inspiring conversation. So let's get straight to it. Mr. Sarkar, looking back at your career, one thing is certain, you've never been someone to stay in just one lane. From investment banking to IT, from leading learning solutions to mentoring future professionals, you've navigated industries with such versatility. That kind of journey doesn't just happen by accident. There's always a story behind it. So take us back to the start, where there was a defining moment, an unexpected twist, or maybe even a challenge that set you on this path. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, yes, you are right that such a journey doesn't happen by accident. And if I go back to the beginning, I think there is a series of events, sequence of events, not all like related. There has been different pivots in my journey which shaped my trajectory. So I started my career as a trainer and then of communicative English, and then a role I truly cherish even today. And it was a really, just after my graduation, getting into that, it was a really exciting thing. And but at the core of everything, I mean, always something was nudging me. There was a hunger in me to create a meaningful impact and find personal fulfillment. So there were a lot of encounters that happened. Even in a student life, I used to look at, while people would go for a short side hustle for pocket money or something like that, I was looking at doing something different. At that time, going into the stock market was not a very common thing while you are an undergraduate. But I had a background in my family as well.
Right.
So I quickly went into stock market for my side money, pocket money.
Okay.
And then I also experimented with the space selling concept, which is quite popular now with the WeWork and other stuffs. At that time, I was at a nascent idea. I had all these different ideas. So I started renting out space in an hourly manner to educational institutes and other business organizations and office spaces, which I was actually at that time having in my own property. So I toyed with that and worked on that business model as well. And while giving training, I came in touch with a student who was also an entrepreneur at that time, and computer and IT was at a nascent stage at that time, growing with Patni
Right.
Computers and others. And this guy has also formed his own company and was creating computers and selling it to different organizations. And he had made a good base in Calcutta at the time. And but then he was looking for something. He also was a person with a different mindset, and we gelled together. And we started looking for new things, and we experimented, and that was a pivot as well, where I moved out from my comfort zone of like teaching and being in a very well-known environment. Just after graduation, everything is like academic, and I'm moving into a line which is quite laid down. I deviated from that. We decided to go into the marine industry, and we started
Wow.
with actually the wholesale retail market that we started with, and we delved through this thread and went into like we started in the local area, the fish market, and from there we did our analysis, and we went into the seashore, and gradually we set up our own supply chain business there, and also got into the auction, which really excited us, like how to do the auctions and how to get through that. It's a very exciting thing. And to do that at the different ports at the same time, it all happens in very early morning, and also while in the sea, while the trawlers are in the sea, and
Correct.
some things already gets decided. There are a lot of things. I won't go into the details of that, but
Right.
we were able to break into this unorganized sector and get into it. And we had good plans around it, not just being a supply chain entity. We wanted to make this organized. So
Right.
we were already having our like understanding of the computers and also the IT and the and the supply chain that is existing. We have this unorganized sector. There is very little knowledge about it in the industry, in the corporate world, and we were able to crack that. And then we decided to go ahead, and after some time, when we were quite good, doing good, almost doing good business around the entire eastern coast, we started looking at creating a exchange sort of thing. We were toying with that idea of creating an exchange, like MCX. And
Right.
so we started with that, and we submitted this for to the Power of Ideas competition in the Economic Times. And so there we got appreciated for that. And we moved to the different stages because we realized, we went there because we realized that we need fund to do that. And so there I understood a couple of things, that I need to get a strong hold of the financials in terms of business outcome and scalability, and also how a real-time technology would work. At that point of time, it was not that well established. IT was not that in good shape that we can create uh, like a like a platform for that. So we were
Right.
going to create a platform where there would be real-time selling and buying, and there would be also like quality assurance. That is also a big challenge in a perishable market. So how
Right.
you make a commodity which is perishable uh, up to the mark, keep the standards, and also have that trading happen. So those kind of things we were working on, and that thought led me to the corporate world. I realized there are a lot of things that I need to learn. There's a gap, and that I need to figure out. So that's how I went to the corporate world, and then started working on that. And I joined Wipro, and then while in
Okay.
Wipro, I got introduced to whatever opportunities that I could, I grabbed it. And so I got into investment banking as a analyst. And then that gave me the grassroots idea. I always prefer to go to the grassroots first to understand the details of it, and then go at the high level, because that gives you a firm grip on the business. And so there, it started with that in the professional journey, because I was in the business world, entrepreneurship world, and now I moved into the um, this this world of professional service. And there I
Right.
went into investment banking, from there into learning and development, training around those things. I learned how to do receivables, payables, and actually execute that. And then from there, I moved on to the IT. And in the IT world, I also went into training. It was a combination of IT and training. So I got my hands dirty on all of it, and gradually got interested into the business model around the education industry. And that's where I gained more knowledge of it. And as I moved to the different companies like Progress Software, BMC Software, Deloitte, and then again BMC Software right now. So here I got the end-to-end understanding of the business model, the governance around it, and how education works as part of an IT product, whether it is you attach it and bake it into the product itself, that service, or you sell it as a separate thing, and what are the go-to-market strategies around it, how you built around it, and what are the the business values that surround it. And so it was a great experience, and really I enjoyed the journey so far. And looking back at it, I think it is a journey which is fulfilling, and it's shaped by the people I have met, the technologies that I have learned, the opportunities that I could seize in terms of
Right.
finance part of it and everything. It was like really a enriching experience so far.
Right.
And the best part is that the journey is not yet over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's such a fascinating journey. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's always interesting to hear how careers evolve in ways we don't always expect. Mr. Sarkar, learning has come a long way from textbooks and PowerPoint slides. Today, technology is redefining how we absorb information. Now, you've explored the role of augmented reality in learning, and it's fascinating to think about how immersive experiences could transform corporate training. From your perspective, is immersive learning truly the future of corporate training, or are there barriers that still need to be overcome before it becomes the norm?
Well, that is a very good question, actually. And immersive learning, when we talk about it, is not only AR, but also other forms like beyond and virtual learning, virtual reality, 360-degree videos we talk about, or even gamification and simulations. Anything that takes the aid of technology in building an experience which is immersive can be. So today, what I told, it may be just like the beginning, and more things can be added to this list as we go and as technology evolves. So all of it, as I said, is basically involving technology at some point or other. So there is tremendous potential for upskilling, and it is very relevant for corporate training. What I have found is offering hands-on engaging experiences that a traditional method can not replicate really. So imagine that employees learning complex procedures, for instance, and by virtually interacting with it, you go to a complex machine and you are operating it, and you are a newbie, and you hold like a mobile and just scan something, and you understand, you look at live like how that system should be operated, a video perhaps on that. So that is like a instant aid to it. The level of retention and engagement in this kind of learning is really unparalleled. But uh, I myself did a AR-based learning as a proof of concept for some of my clients, and
Okay.
I had pitched it, and it was very well received. I remember that. And that said, what I can see is that there are challenges to it. Challenges in terms of before it becomes a widespread norm, that there is a
Correct.
significant investment needed in the hardware, in the software, and not all organizations, big organizations, they have the capability. And even though we have capability in big organizations, we always question like, what is the input versus what is the return that we are getting.
Correct.
ROI always matters. And so far, AR has been a challenge in terms of the ROI because of the amount of investment to do it on scale. Of course, a small segment, you can, to a certain extent, AR. Some companies, like
Right.
Siemens and others, have done it. For their different things, the different trainings, but
Correct.
it requires technical expertise, which is also a limiting factor for organizations to adopt it. Another thing is that the content needs to be very relevant and contextual. You should
Correct.
understand much more than technology, like where this kind of immersive learning would be helpful. I won't even call it a learning really. I would more call it like it's a aid. It's a job aid
Aid.
where
Some.
you are able to uh, uh, like really do the things on the go. with the help of
Makes
that.
sense. Yeah,
Sometimes it can be considered as a learning. Say when you are going through a immersive learning on a historical event, you put on
correct,
a scanner and you
correct.
see a historical event, maybe a drama coming in, talking about that. That kind of is experiential learning on certain things. And so, yes, that is there. And but what I have seen being adopted in terms of immersive learning is gamification and simulations in the IT world more and more. It is getting done there because it becomes more relevant there in terms of it helps in reducing the cost to certain extent when you have a simulation instead of a costly actual setup, a sandbox to do things. If you have a
Mm,
simulated environment where you can do that, it is easy to scale as well
mm,
in those environment, in those contexts, in
mm,
terms of gamification and simulation. But as AR, it is still, I mean, a little bit more to go. The journey to making it the
mm.
norm will require more investment and more efficiency built in
True.
between tech developers, the content creators, and the corporate leaders. So
Right.
to overcome this kind of barrier.
Right. Mr. Sarkar, I just had, a slightly off-script question. I just wanted to know that when you propose such trainings, which obviously you curate based on the organization's needs, you talked about, there could be hindrances with regards to, investment input versus returns, and other factors. I'm thinking, is there also a resistance to adapting to something new because you're kind of revolutionizing, so and people come with a mindset of what's not broken, why fix something what's not broken, so they're resistant to change. So is that also sometimes a hindrance to your proposals or the audience members attending your trainings initially?
Yeah, of course. Change resistance is a big thing that we have to
Yeah,
overcome. And technology to different kind of changes we faced in introducing AI in organizations. I've
yeah,
seen there has been a lot of resistance to change. Why change from what we are doing now? So
correct.
imagine now you are using, say, uh, content development tool like Articulate or something like that. And suddenly you are told that use AI to create the content, and that can reduce the time and effort, and at the same time increase help in scalability. That would
Productivity,
be
yeah.
like there will be a lot of resistance. And I have seen and I've gone through this phase and have understood like what there is pros and cons to everything, and it depends on the business requirement. Uh, what we adopt based on the
Mm,
larger vision of the business, long-term vision of the business. That's
mm.
where we take it. But if you talk about from the learning perspective, immersive learning would be the best thing to have. That's what I feel.
Absolutely.
And but
Absolutely.
there are variables that we have to
Right.
consider.
Absolutely. And it must vary from organization to
Yes,
organization
yes,
and their
yes.
needs, etc. Understood. And it's incredible to think about how far corporate training has come and how immersive experiences can make learning more interactive and impactful. Mr. Sarkar, learning has always been about, evolution from chalkboards to PowerPoints and now to fully digital experiences. While technology has opened up incredible possibilities, the shift from traditional classroom training to digital learning isn't always smooth. And like we just talked about it in your earlier response, but in your experience, what's the biggest challenge organizations face in making this transition, and how can they bridge the gap to create truly effective digital learning experiences?
Well, it is a continuation of the previous question, I feel.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
digital learning is now everywhere in the IT education landscape. I can talk more about IT because I have been into the core IT for
Yes.
much longer time. I have been into finance training and other trainings as well in Deloitte and others, but uh, the core it is IT. So it is a digital learning. It's a win-win for both the organization and the learner. And
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
traditional classroom has also gone digital, I would say, with the smart boards, virtual instructor-led learning. And but before I move into that, since we talked about this some time back, I would quickly like to bring to your attention like an aspect of learning which is important uh, to relate to all this. So it's like it's not a linear answer that I can give to this. Uh, in the corporate world, training is created. I believe you already know this, but for the sake of the audience, in the
Sure.
corporate world, training is created keeping an eye on the learning, right? Uh, and That's what we think. But actually, training is created based on the legal requirement. There is two aspects to it. One is the legal requirement of the compliance for which the different laws of the land that we have to meet as corporate working in different countries. And also, the other aspect is to skill up the employees on the products and the soft skills that are required for them to perform their assigned tasks and add value to the organization, right? So if you look at compliance training, it is where mostly things are almost like digitized. And however, I mean, because people tend to take it as a checklist. And in that cases, you are like more of a like a mechanical going through is happening. What learning experts say is that there is not much value add to that, but we need to make it so. That's why you see it is becoming increasingly immersive in terms of the way the learning is created there, and it is getting more immersive technology there to make it interesting. That effort corporate is putting on that. And we also have like for jobs, that regular day-to-day jobs, we see a different trend where software plugins are coming in, which like say you are navigating as an employee through a particular UI HR portal, and you don't know how to navigate through this, but you have to create some request. So how you do this? So for that, earlier we used to have a e-learning created around it. But now what we are doing is we are having a software plugin. I won't name the vendors.
Right.
There are multiple vendors in the market. But that will do is as soon as you click on the UI and you are trying to do something, it will give a pop-up which will give you the steps to do that or show you visually quickly what is the next step, what is the next step, what you need to do. You just follow it and it is done. It's very simple. And so that kind of thing is what we call is a job aid, a live job aid, just in time aid that we're providing. It is also a learning in a sense, because the first time you do it, the next time you can do even without that. Right. And then there is a different kind of, so there is no need of learning here, but rather we are eliminating the learning. So what we need, so there are certain products where the corporate world is now more focused on providing learning. Say you are performing some task as a developer or as an administrator to a software or maybe to a complex machine work that you are doing, which involves a complexity. So there we see a blended learning approach wherein we have a web-based training, we have a where the basic concepts are cleared, and then you have the actual sandbox environment where you can do a hands-on and with or without the presence of a instructor. You can have a guide, a student guide, which can help you through the process, and you can do it in a self-paced mode. This is scalable. This is scalable, and this is doable, and this is digital, and this is here you. This is what it is you do when there is this kind of business need from the point of the business and from the point of view of the learner. So there is a context and people will be interested. But so the point is that we have to make a informed decision. We should not run after technology or run after this and that thing to get things done just because it is the trend of the industry.
It should be conscious.
It should be an informed decision what you want to take. And if you take it in the right way, then there would be the least change resistance to it. If you inform them, there are a couple of aspects to it, like give the proper communication. First of all, identify that this is what you need. This should work for you and your employees, the best way and the least effort way. And then you put in the communication, the proper understanding of it to happen, to overcome the change resistance and to get through it. So that's how you can scale from a traditional to a digital world. But I would rather not say it as a traditional to digital world, but more of like it can be a mix of both in terms of like where what is needed. But mostly
Correct.
what we see is in terms of current needs of the corporate world. If you look through the Gartner reports and other
Hmm.
LinkedIn reports, you will see that this is more on the digital trend. And right now, corporates with the AI into place are looking more and more into the digital world and
Right.
transform into the digital space more and more, because
Right.
that makes things much scalable and much less expensive, to be
Right.
honest, and creates new avenues. That's the way forward. That's what I see.
Right, right. And that's such an important point, Mr. Sarkar. It's easy to assume that moving training online is enough. But as you've highlighted, there's a whole transformation that needs to happen for
Yeah.
it to be truly effective. We all know the world of work is evolving faster than ever. AI and automation are transforming industries,
Mhm.
redefining job roles, and even making some traditional skills obsolete. In your experience, what are the key skills that individuals must develop to not just keep up, but truly stay ahead in this rapidly changing landscape?
In my experience, if you say that, I think the key lies in the combination of technical proficiency, cognitive skills,
Mm,
and
mm,
also the typical human-centered things where humans excel more.
mm,
Those are the, in compared to a machine,
mm.
those are the things that we should focus on. Like, let me break it down. First, let's come to adaptability,
Right,
which is absolutely essential. So,
true,
if you are looking at change, change is inevitable. So it has been
true,
through ages that we are changing through the different. What is stable today? What is the new change today becomes traditional? Yes, tomorrow, and
correct.
there is a new change coming in. So change is inevitable, and this means that
Mm,
committing to continuous learning. As L&D
mm,
professionals, we always emphasize this. That we need to be committed to continuous learning. You just cannot say that this is what I've learned. I've become an expert in this product. I don't need to go into anything else, and I am just ready for everything. No, this product can be obsolete tomorrow with AI and everything. Things are changing so fast. So upskilling and reskilling is very important. And then we have the technology literacy. So not all companies are IT companies, right? So
mm,
technology literacy, but AI is pervading everywhere. Technology automation is pervading everywhere. So technological literacy is critical for you to understand as an employee, as a learner. You don't need to be an AI developer to thrive, but understanding the basics. If you're a manager, for instance, you need to understand
mm.
the basics of the tools, like what is automation,
True,
what is machine learning, what is data analytics, and
true,
that can give you a significant edge. But staying informed about these technologies, how they work, how they're impacting your industry, will keep you relevant. So
right.
now, as
So,
machines, a little bit more is left. I think one more topic, that is the
sure, sure.
human-centered part of it. That is, machines are good at repetitive tasks, but we are good at critical thinking and problem solving. I'm not saying that machines are not starting on that. AI is being fed on a lot of things. So you never know at what point, what generation of AI comes in. But still now it is
True,
vector-based, and it is all even if it looks like sensible, but it is all like logic and stuff like that. Critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, innovative product design, storytelling, even finding the unconventional solutions. These are
mm,
like the creativity part remains a human stronghold with emotional
mm,
intelligence coming into play. Like you have to, the communication, the empathy, the leadership, all these things, these are still human assets, right? Which
right,
can be your assets as well, as a learner, as an employee, upskilling or reskilling and making themselves relevant into the industry. You
right.
need to like interpret and analyze data. Data analytics is a very important part of everything that is happening now.
Yeah.
So that can be a key area of focus. And then the question comes at the end is how do we focus on all this? The key to these is embracing a mindset of as I said in the very beginning, lifelong learning. Like organization
Yes.
will evolve, technologies will evolve. It is we who have to be curious, alert, adaptive, and
Mm,
like human centered in our approach. Like what
mm,
we can do, what the machine, what the autonomous things cannot do. That's what we have to figure out. And what are the new opportunities that are opening up because of these changes that is happening in terms of driving through this automation, driving through the AI process, your AI skills. Those are important. Those becomes important.
Right.
And these will
Right.
help you grow. And yeah, really, the possibilities are endless.
Right. That's such a powerful insight, the way technology is evolving. It's clear that the ability to adapt and continuously learn is becoming just as important as technical expertise, like you mentioned. Mr. Sarkar, looking at your journey, it's clear that you've always been driven by growth, learning, and innovation. But great leaders don't just look at where they are, they're always thinking about what's next. As you continue to evolve in your career, what are some of your future aspirations? Do you see yourself stepping into boardroom roles, shaping corporate strategy at the highest levels?
Well, as I continue to evolve into my journey, one of my aspirations is definitely to broaden the impact that I can make. And while stepping into a boardroom role and shaping corporate strategy at the highest level is certainly a prospect I look for. And that's why I have started with the Directors Institute and working around that. But my focus really goes beyond the titles and the positions. I never aspired for a title or a position. Rather, I was more focused on the work and the value that I can give to things and to create new things. There is always a hunger to do something. So as a learning leader, I've had the privilege of focusing on the most critical assets of my organization. It's people, right? So my focus has always been on how workforce ecosystem can be developed and how it makes an impact on the organization's go-to-market strategy and to scale their products. So this experience uh, that I had doing all these have shaped my perspective on business strategy and organizational growth. It makes me I think that gives me a unique value as a leader. So that's something that I bring on board when I'm talking about entering into a boardroom. I believe boardroom is a place where decisions about long-term strategy and vision are made. And here I can bring in like a people-centric approach to these conversations. So my understanding of the development, engagement, and performance
Correct.
in terms of people helps me to ensure the organizational strategies align with the capacities that we have as a and to meet the aspirations of the workforce. So in a sense, what I advocate is a sustainable balance between the business goals and the human capabilities. And my experience in designing and implementing the learning solutions and programs have given me like an insight into the organizational adaptability,
Right.
like increasing the vital components of success in today's changing landscape. You know how fast it is changing. Like learning professionals excel in identifying the skills gaps and how to where the gap is and how to address it, and whether it is a really a learning need or we can do simply with a eradication of learning with some kind of support or tools and prepare the organization to best meet their future challenges. So this adaptability and this ability to map the current capabilities against future trends is something I think will be invaluable in crafting corporate strategies. And also my exposure to teams and learning methodologies have helped me to manage change very effectively. So change and moving into uncharted territory is my specialty. If you look back at my career, it's all about change. So from introducing new technologies to cultivating culture of continuous learning, I understand how to lead a transformative initiative.
Right.
When you are doing a transformation, how you do that, how you foster the resilience, how you foster the innovation. So these qualities is part of a strategic vision, and which I think a boardroom role requires. And also leadership development. I have given leadership training, so that can that helped me to gain the understanding of the different nuances that we have around this and how you travel that path, navigate through the different challenges and drive organizational growth. So
Right.
these insights like helps me to contribute meaningfully to the discussions about executive hirings, for instance, succession planning, leadership alignment. So also my entrepreneurial journey that has happened so far has helped me in embracing into like different kind of things, different management strategies and different changes quickly. There are so many changes that I have faced. People will be like, I have seen people not being so flexible the way I have been through my journey. And so
Right.
these broadens my opportunity to drive the cultural transformation as well as in a broader scale. So it can be a natural extension of the work I'm doing. So as a learning leader, so we this is something which we do not speak, but it is like part of and parcel of our role. That is diversity and inclusion, promoting value-driven leadership or cultivating growth
Absolutely.
mindset. These are the things that are the perspectives that build a culture and support innovation and success. So
Right.
in summary, I would say my background in investment banking, entrepreneurship, and all that I have done so far in learning field brings a unique and essential perspective to the boardroom. And by connecting strategy with people, fostering the adaptability, the kind of adaptability that I have seen through and have implemented, executed, and driving through the leadership development, I can
Right.
contribute to like shaping the future of the organization in every aspect.
Right, right. It's always fascinating to hear how great leaders think about their next chapter, not just in terms of career moves, but in the kind of impact that they want to make. Mr. Sarkar, corporate governance is no longer just about compliance, it's about building trust, fostering ethical leadership, and ensuring long term business sustainability. In your experience, what are the key elements that define effective corporate governance today? And how can organizations go beyond regulations to create a culture of governance that truly drives business success?
Okay, at its core, I would say it starts with ethical leadership. So,
Hmm.
as you said just now about ethicality, so ethical leadership is the key to it. So, when as a leader, I tell something, I should, the tone that I'm setting depends on what I am doing. What is the model of integrity, transparency, and accountability I am taking, I am exhibiting? That trickles down. Your directs see that, and their directs see that, and it trickles like that. And the behavior gradually, to an extent, it gets diluted. But if you're strong at the top when you are exhibiting your leadership things, then it becomes it's almost like the radar, the setting the compass for everyone to follow.
Hmm.
And the other thing would be like how we engage with our stakeholders. So
Hmm.
by stakeholders, I don't just mean shareholders. I'm talking about the uh,
Everybody involved.
governance extending to employees, to customers, to communities, and even the environment. Everything is so gelled together right now in today's environment.
Correct.
With technology, you cannot avoid anything. And we have to actively listen to these stakeholders and
Hmm.
incorporate the needs and decision making into it and build a level of trust that I mean would be hard to break if you are engaging with all and taking the correct inputs and building the right model. Then
Hmm.
the trust automatically builds up, and it is hard to break. You are setting a culture actually,
Right.
and there is another thing which is very aligned to this is the transparency. Open and honest communication is what keeps the stakeholders
Hmm.
confident, right? So
Right.
in the organization's direction. So sharing success is important. Challenges is important. That keep that open. But also the different kind of things that is happening or anything that is need to be disclosed, it should be transparent and honestly disclosed. So even if there is a
Hmm.
bad news, if you communicate it under a proper light, what happens is it builds the transparency and the trust in it, in you and in the governance, and makes your governance credible. the model that you follow.
Mm.
And also, as I talked before, also the diversity and inclusion is important. When you have a table, in that table, you should allow all the different voices to speak so that you get a better idea, stronger strategies, and a governance framework that's more representative of the world that we are in, the world in which this business is operating. And
Mm.
this is what I have observed in most of the organizations. And last, I think I should not forget about is sustainability. A good governance model doesn't just work about next quarter or the next quarter. It should be when we make a governance model, we should be thinking of a long-term thing, a long-term success,
Correct.
not just short-sighted, like I move from this
Mm.
quarter to this quarter. What happens after? No, it should be a proper model of sustainability. Your governance model should be sustainable enough to think of in the long term.
Mm.
And so that is what I can feel. What else? If you go beyond regulations, I mean, it's your initial question was like, how is regulation enough or in governance, or how do we move beyond it to create a real
Right.
governance culture? So I
Yes.
think, and I have been part of so far different organizations in this and that, it starts by making governance part of the organization's DNA, not just something you do just because you have to do. You do it
Mm.
because as a person, you are integrated to the values, as I was saying, the ethics and the other stuff that I've talked about
Mm.
just now, of the company, of the organization. You integrate it with your personal values. You are embedding it into everyday decisions, empowering as a leader to the teams
Mm.
to take the ownership, to show them everything, everyone, that how governance works. And it is not just about rules, it's about the spirit within it. It's about driving the success of the business. So that is what it is. And technology, of course, plays a big role in it. The real-time monitoring, data insight, data-driven insights, and all these. Simply talking about these without the data doesn't make sense. The governance model always needs to take care of the real-time monitoring, the data-driven insights, the tools that simplify the governance model and makes like a world of difference, because that makes things easier. I mean, otherwise,
Mm.
if you look at older times where we were doing things in a semi-technology mode, that was there were a lot of challenges. But now with data at hand, it's really not that difficult. And creating a governance culture that drives success is about, as I said, it is about trust, inclusivity, sustainability, and purpose.
Mm.
So, all
Right.
these things, if you keep in mind with the correct spirit, it inspires confidence and it fuels the growth. So, when it's done well, the impact is transformative.
Right, right. Thank you for sharing that. Like you mentioned in your response, governance isn't just about following the rules, it's about setting the right foundation for sustainable and ethical leadership. Mr. Sarkar, as we near the end of the interview, we cannot let you go without answering this question. You've recently joined Directors Institute, an organization which is dedicated to shaping future boardroom leaders. While your journey with the Institute is just beginning, what has your experience been like so far? What initially drew you to join, and how do you see it adding value to your professional growth?
Okay, well, I have been planning to join the institute for some time, but something or other was delaying this joining. And then the last call that I had took me to that webinar which you conduct, where I attended that, I think, at the beginning as well, when the institute came into force a couple of years back. And at that time, Mr. Heval Mehta was taking that webinar. So I did attend at that time, but I was not able to join because of different kind of engagements that I had. But I really
Right.
appreciated that initiative. And this was the time I decided to join, because now I am taking steps to make move. So joining the institute has been an incredibly enriching experience. I have been going through your courses and actively pursuing it for the last couple of months. And even though my journey is, so it's just at the beginning, I really am enjoying it. And what initially drew me to this was the institute's vision, which is like shaping the future boardroom leaders with a strong foundation in key areas like boardroom dynamics and the ESG part of it, which is governance,
Right.
the social and environmental part of it. It really attracted me. And one aspect that stood out to me right away is the depth of the expertise the institute brings to the table. I mean, from industry veterans sharing real world insights to the rigorous curriculums. Mr. Sundareshan's sir's videos I was watching, it was excellent. I mean, it
A
gives such a good
masterclass.
understanding of everything, and the knowledge. With that, the curriculum that we have, where it blends the practical knowledge with strategic foresights, the kind of foresights that I'm getting there, the strategic, what to expect in the boardroom, what are the things that needs to be there, and the entire experience, the way you have been designing it. Of course, there is the laws that I have to learn, go through those things, and each on part of it, I'm going through it. I've also started working on the company law directly, the Bear Act, so that it helps in a better way. I mean, I'm finding that relating both together is very helpful. And though it has been culled from that and it has taken the juice, the entire part, the crux of it in that training, and
Right.
two are supplementing each other. And it is really helpful for me to go through it and to prepare for professionals like me for complexities of the board level decision making. So I'm gaining not just technical knowledge, but also strategic perspective. And I think this will complement my background in the people development, investment banking, IT, and training. And it's broadening my understanding of how to govern. I already had because of my experiences here and different organizations. But uh, here it is like on more systematic way. I'm looking at it at a different perspective from boardroom perspective, like governance,
Right.
sustainability, and how leadership can be used to shape the future of the organization. And
Right.
beyond that, the institute is providing an amazing community platform where I'm getting a look at the different people who have already qualified for these certifications and looking at the different videos that you have put into your the leadership insight videos in the FaceTime platform. I think I'm forgetting the name of that. I'm really excited to see how this journey continues to unfold and the opportunities that it will open up for me to add value to the highest levels.
What an insightful conversation this has been, Mr. Sarkar. Your journey, your expertise in learning and development, and your perspective on leadership and governance have given us so much to think about. I'm sure our audience have a lot of valuable key takeaways from this conversation. So thank you once again for joining us on FaceTime with Leaders.
Also, thank you for providing me this opportunity. And I really appreciate all the conversations that I had with you. And I hope it is helpful to everybody. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm sure it will be. And to our audience members, I hope today's discussion sparked new ideas and gave you valuable takeaways. Whether you're an aspiring leader, seasoned executive, or someone passionate about corporate learning and governances, these conversations are meant to bring you inspiration and practical insights to grow in your own career. Once again, a big thank you to Mr. Dipankar Sarkar for joining us and sharing his experiences. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. We'll be back soon with more thought-provoking conversations with leaders who are shaping the future of business. Until next time, this is your host, Priya George. Keep learning, keep leading, and keep making an impact. Take care.